uh, along with those efforts, new efforts will happen, and people will join this campaign.
Absolutely. Georgia is blue because Stacey Abrams saw it as a long game there. Even when she didn't win her Georgia governor race, she said we made progress because more people voted, more people registered, and all of a sudden 2 years later we see what happened. One of the best parts about this book for me is how many people have come forward to me and said, I'm doing what you're talking about, but no one knows it. So all around this country, I see some really innovative ideas of registering voters, of supporting candidates in every district, not just swing states, not just swing districts. I go through all the case studies in my book of what worked, but if I were to write a new book, and maybe I will, there's far more I could add. And so one of my goals going forward is to highlight and find support for all the things that are being done in the right direction. And again, get people, those who support democracy, out of the sort of losing narrow game they're fighting where they're only focusing on swing states in federal elections and mainly the presidential election. It may feel good when you win some of those federal races, but if the other side is attacking democracy every single year in states, ultimately they're always winning while you're only winning occasionally on a narrower playing field. We have to change that. But yes, there are a lot of people doing this great work. They need more amplification and they ultimately need more support.
David, one of the issues that we've paid considerable attention to on this show is the importance of local newspapers to the health of American democracy. You make reference to it in the book as well. I wonder, from your perspective, what is the importance of those local independent sources of news?
It's a huge part of the problem that these news outlets are falling apart in their tough sort of economic model. The lack of state house bureaus, the lack of small hometown community papers means there's very little coverage of these places. If your goal is to use state houses to do bad things, that really helps you because you can push forward all sorts of laws and no one back home in these states has any idea what those laws are. They have no idea what their own legislator is doing. So one of the steps I put in terms of improving your footprint on democracy, subscribe to any local paper that's there and covering that stuff. Put your money where democracy is. Don't go around the paywall. We need these papers to survive because in the past, these were the places that would say, here's your state house person, here's their opponent, here's what they stand for, here's our editorial board opinion on who's done what. Most of that is disappearing, and it means, again, it contributes to this lack of awareness of what these states are doing. So it's a big part of the problem. It makes state houses a more attractive place to do bad things, but everyone who's listening can play a role in trying to help there by subscribing. And by the way, there also are new nonprofit outfits, journalist outfits that are cropping up. Help those as well. They're a really important part of the new journalism, and they're in many states covering these state houses as intensely as any of the old models. Help them as well.
David, it's a remarkable book, Laboratories of Autocracy. He's David Pepper. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks, guys. Really enjoyed the conversation.
That is all the time we have this week, but if you want to know more about Stories in Public Square, you can find us on Facebook and Twitter, or visit pellcenter.org, where you can always catch up on previous episodes. For G. Wayne Miller, I'm Jim Lunas, asking you to join us again next time for more Story in the Public Square.